thinking, do you guys remember about Alicia Hostetler and the award she got at the Global Gala?
No, but bless your heart. That's right. Speaking of blessing.
That has a lot of meaning in it right there, depending on which state you're from.
Exactly.
But we're going to
That's right.
we're going to use the good one that you would use from Bless Your Heart from Pennsylvania, right?
No, that they don't say that in the North. That's
They
a
don't-
Southern
that's
thing,
not
but
a-
it's
Yeah.
just like, is it the you dummy, bless your
The
heart,
Texas version.
or the Texas version, or is it like, oh, I really do have compassion for you, bless your heart.
Yes.
Anyway, welcome to Coffee with Ken.
Yes.
We are here with CEO Ken Brown and General Manager Butch McCracken, and I am Dr. April Brown, Executive Vice President of Coaching, and we are, we're talking about that, really, I don't know how bless your heart has to do with
It
it,
just
but
ties in fun
it
to
does
it.
tie-
Well, it does
blessing.
because some people are blessings, they don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have so many people in this community that you should totally identify with this. You don't understand the benefit and the blessing you are to those around you. You just don't consume it. And Alicia is, of course, at the top of that list. But we have so many clients like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
right? They don't understand how much value they add to people around them. What they do for their kids, what they do for their husbands, how they inspire, how they encourage. Because it's, Aaron Bay was talking to me the other day about, in fact, it was last week, he had sent us a note, and he was talking about sometimes he feels like George Bailey, right? From
It's a Wonderful
It's a
Life.
Wonderful Life at Christmas. What a great movie, by the way. If you haven't know that, you need to watch it with your family. But it reminded him of just the everyday circumstances that can get so mundane that you miss them, that you don't realize how important they are until you start missing them later in life.
Yeah.
The
But how much
everyday
impact
things.
you make on
Yes.
people's life, and if you literally took a scenario where if you were never even born, how much that impacts your community, your family, that would not have had the impact that they had
Totally true.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about that.
just by you being in that family or within that community.
Mm-hmm.
And we miss it. We don't see the forest from the trees, and we see the trees that look like, you can't really see how big and how expansive that things are, because we only see what is right in front of us, and what is right in front of us just looks like we bring problems
Yes.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a
feel
lot
like
of times that can be what's in front of you because that's what you're dealing with, and there are seasons of that, right? We were just talking about the other night the greatest book ever written has a story of Joseph in it, and 2/3 of his life were not party time.
Right.
There was 1/3 of his life that was actually yielded itself for the 2/3 of training that he got that was not pleasant, right?
Yeah.
But boy, that 1/3 was sweet. And fortunately for him, it was at the later half. You want to have the tough half first and the blessed half in the second, which is certainly what he had. But
able to impact the whole entire world.
he
by
did. He saved
being able.
just through
Yeah.
applying God's wisdom that was given. He applied it and did it, and saved mankind. So it's an amazing, amazing story.
I'm sure that when he applied his trust in Father, being thrown in jail, false accusations, he had no idea the magnitude of his impact.
No
I'm
way.
sure as the human side of him occasionally dripped in, I didn't deserve this, Father, what's going on, that type of thing, versus going to, I'm going to transform a nation.
I'm gonna save all mankind because I'm good. I'm
Right?
just that way. When you're in the prison,
Yeah.
you just hoping the guy remembers to tell the king about you, right?
But for going back to Alicia and how her impact that she can't even realize was the fact that she supported her husband to start his own business from nothing. And the sacrifice that took
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
a lot of wives would have been like, no,
They
you
counted
got
the
to
cost.
keep your job,
Right.
security, the security of that, of at least having a job, but saw his potential and starting a company and what that could be for Luke, and supporting
Mhm.
him, believing in him, continuing to support that, and
Right.
and how that's not just impacted her family, her community, but also Destiny Global community, and the impact that they're making. And sometimes
Yes.
she's not the one out in the forefront. Luke is that personality of being out in the forefront.
Right.
And it can feel like when you're in the back of that, like you're not making the impact. But when you look at, like
Yes.
George Bailey, when you look at the scenario without her,
Mhm.
none of the other stuff would have
It is
happened.
so
and
true.
The impact wouldn't have happened.
So true. And we have so many people that can fall right into this. And those, and you know who we're talking to right now, that you can downplay and make yourself, you know, it's almost a false humility, because you do so many important things, and recognizing that and just pausing for a moment and recognizing our own unsung heroes, right? Of those people that really support us, and all that you do behind the scenes here. Thank you for all the things that you do to make sure that stuff are done, that people have no clue what you've done, right? Website, helping design it, for making sure the marketing stuff is done. Looking at the products that come out, looking at how the marketing flow, 30, 60, 90-day plans, and all the things that you do. So, yeah,
Well, thank you. I received
it's
that.
very true. But when I think of Alicia and all that she did to really propel Luke, and then support him to do that, and then watch the husband that he's becoming, and the father to Keaton and Kendall, and just watching them walk into what God has for them next in Goshen, Indiana.
Yeah.
In Goshen.
But even beyond that, because like
Yep.
you saying that of even what I might be doing presently, but kind of like on that same, if I wasn't even doing those things, there have been times that I've not felt, you know, those things are making an impact, because you might be out in front, but knowing that the reason we even came here was because I stepped into that and supporting that for you and stepping in to become CEO. So it's sometimes we forget those kinds of things if we're not out in the forefront, and we're not the ones, you know, that are getting always the accolades. It can feel like we're not having that impact, or
Yeah.
it's really easy to lose sight of what impact we can have. if
So
it's-
quickly you can lose it. We can lose it any time, and as pride steps into it, sometimes it's hard to balance that. And you and I have that here, right? And the right balance of what it is, and what's too little of us, what's too much of us, what, you know, all of that. And just making sure that we're always putting the best thing on stage for whatever that topic or thing is that we're doing. And
to have transformation in our
we
clients'
want,
lives.
that's the
our-
main thing is
doesn't
what is
matter who
creating
it is.
transformation. Exactly.
Who's going to give
Correct.
the
But it's
most impact and transformation in our
well,
clients' lives?
it is, but it's also sometimes who's been anointed and appointed. And sometimes, especially when we come to spiritual equipping, the things that God was doing and speaking, especially when I was at the back of the room and he said, "Have you considered my daughter?" And I'm looking at you and I'm thinking to myself, what about me, right? I need to go teach, and right? But it was really called out to what God was doing in you and through you to bless people. So all of that goes back to obedience, but it's also remembering this, that God doesn't forget. Ever.
Yeah.
He knew Joseph was in that jail cell, ready for that day, but he was in jail for a while, ladies and gentlemen. This wasn't just a week, a month.
Right.
This was a series of years. Yes. And for him to mature and grow in strength and stature and how to really deal with difficult people. If you think it was just an easy life that he had in the prison, I think that you better rethink that, because he gained a lot of skill of dealing with difficult people. He could have written How to
So
Win
true.
Friends and Influence People, right? Dale Carnegie's book could have been written by
So
Joseph,
true.
right? But knowing how to impact lives, and all that goes back to realizing that what you're doing in the background, affects everything that's being played out in the stage of life. And thank you to all of our unsung heroes who do great things and support and encourage and because what you do is you magnify opportunities for your family. You magnify what your husband, what your wife can do for husbands that are doing that for their wives. And I encourage you, all of you, it's learning to support each other's vision to be all that you can be. And, we teach this stuff pretty wide and pretty deep at this event called First Steps to Success that we're having in where?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And you do
April
not
25th through 27th.
do
And
not miss it.
get your ticket. The information is below. You do not want to miss this, just as Ken was saying, to really learn how to apply these things. It really is. So many trainings you go to, and we talk about this all the time, is about the what, or like just
It's hype or
just
what?
Motivation or
What you should do.
yeah, and it's a lot of hype, and that can get you excited, but it doesn't give you the how to. It doesn't give you the actual action
How
steps
to change things. And we give you the how-tos.
and not placating that it's easy. Like, these are things that take effort and time and continual and persistent. So, but it is taught how to get the results that you want. It's
Yes.
very powerful. So yes, our next event is in April 25th through 27th. Get your ticket below. Get your room block
Yes.
because those do sell out.
And this one
Yeah.
is for
Tickets.
especially aimed at kids on Thursday night. We're having a special next gen
Oh,
training
yes.
just to teach them how to start their business. And then of course in the one in July we'll have the next gen marketplace, which was wildly successful last year. And you do not want, if you got kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, a friend's kid, bring them on. Get them.
This is not taught anywhere.
No,
These people,
nowhere else.
These kids were taught not just how to do a business, but so professional. I was
blown away.
so blown away how professional that they were running their businesses.
It was just
And-
outstanding. It was
yeah.
outstanding.
And Carmen does an amazing job to teach them every step by step of how to do a business and a business plan and how to market it, all of it. So you do not want to miss that if you're from, what's the ages?
It's really 8 to
18.
20, 21 years old. I mean, Next Gen is a big group, right? Our son leads the weekly activity, Noah Brown, and does a fantastic job. And of course, Carmen coming in to do the training to really take them to the next level. But this is something that you want your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, friends, kids involved in.
So powerful.
Because it's weekly connection with people that have goals and values that you want your children instilled with.
We have student rates for that too. So
We do.
tickets are below for that.
Yes.
So thanks for joining us here on Coffee with Ken. We can't wait to see you next week.
Yes.
Join us then.
See
Like,
ya.
share, tell others so that they can join us as well. We'll see y'all next time.
Have a great day.
Bye.
See you, gang.